All right, hey everyone. We are back with round two of the Benjamin Franklin Open with Akil, and continuing with his round two. You have the black pieces.
All right, so I'm here playing my round two game.
The mouse is over there.
Why is Mass over there?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to move like this. Gotcha.
Yes.
These 12:30. I have the black pieces. He opens with e4. I go for Sicilian. Knight f3. I continue with d6, standard stuff. And then here he decides to go bishop b5 check, going for a Moscow attack. I haven't studied these lines as much as I should have, or at all for that matter, which I probably will do now. So, but I know you can continue with bishop d7 or knight d7. So I decide to go knight d7 here. He continues with knight c3, which I always thought was kind of weird because I haven't really seen knight c3. It's always either takes d4 or some sort of c3 d4 approach after you castle. He decides to go knight c3 though, which I guess is reasonable. A6 just asks the bishop what he's doing. He either has to take or not. I'm happy if he takes. I'm happy if he leaves also. So, and if he leaves, I'm assuming just e6, knight f6, bishop b7, castle, and then play for b5, b4 there. But he's castled short, so maybe a little bit less effective. He decides to take, which I think is the main move. I play bishop takes, which I also think is the main move. And he castles. I play knight to f6. He plays d3 here, which, I mean, I didn't know what to think here. I'm just going to assume he wanted to play this move or put his bishop on e3. Not too much to think about.
I feel like he should be fighting for more space. Like, is d4 something he should have considered?
Well, I've never seen knight c3 before. The approaches are either c3, d4 to build up this massive center like you would in like a Roy Lopez or Italian, or you have to play d4 immediately and go for an open Sicilian structure without the light square bishop, which you traded off for the knight or the bishop.
That makes sense.
So I thought this was already weird, and I thought I was doing fine here.
You probably are.
So I play e6, just looking to put my bishop there. I'm assuming I could also play e5, but then it's almost like you just dump the knight in and then play this. And then it's kind of a boring game. Rook e1, bishop e7. He plays h3, which kind of... Don't know why.
Oh, because he wanted to play bishop e3 without you playing knight g4 with tempo.
That makes a little sense, actually. Yeah. No, I didn't even see that. I was like, there's nothing to pin you. So I was like, oh, why are you even playing this move? But anyways, I just castle here. If he pins, I'm actually kind of happy to play this. And then I'll probably just play rook c8, b5, and expand your like you typically would. Plays bishop to e3. Obviously that's fine in this scenario since there's no bishop on the c4 square, so that doesn't blunder a piece immediately. Rook c8, typical Sicilian move, planning to put my queen on c7 next. He presses matters now, which... obviously, I'm thinking between knight d5 or taking here. I vaguely remember every time I see some of my online games, taking is typically the best option, so I just decided to do that.
I wonder if you go back a move. Like, I wonder how bad... Like, before he played e5, and before you played rook c8, how bad is d5 now?
Well, d5 he just pushes.
I wish your bishop wasn't on d7, because I would love... Because that doesn't sound like the worst thing, but your knight has nowhere to go. Like, yeah. I mean, how stupid is d5, e5, and knight e8? Is that super stupid or only slightly stupid?
d5, e5, knight e8.
Slightly stupid.
Where does the knight have a future? Maybe g6 here.
Well, yeah, I'm studying a fork. I'm studying a fork.
Studying a fork, so that has to be addressed. Maybe even this.
Oh, that's poo. I actually don't like that. Yeah.
For black?
Yeah. D4 makes it okay, I think. D4. No, I don't want to take. Maybe B6. But now we're getting
D6?
really... Yeah. It looks stupid.
Yeah, now even I hate this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, but maybe it's not too stupid. It was only slightly stupid.
I mean,
anyways, I just E5 feels like it feels like a good move for white.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much what to do here. I just know rook c8 is a typical Sicilian move. But granted, most of these positions are castled long, so there's always And the c-pawn's not here, so there's always like an exchange sack looming that you're looking for, and then you play queen c7. And I vaguely don't really know if there's anything wrong about developing like this when they're short castled, because there's no real attack coming at me yet, because his knight's blocking the pawn also. Well, he press matters now. I just take. He takes. I go knight d5, which probably wasn't the best option, but I just feel like I have to coordinate my pieces soon. And
well, yeah, I think it's the most natural square for your knight to go.
yeah, personally, I would like to not let him take this. I was thinking about bishop e8, but that just seemed the bishop pair doesn't seem too important.
It's a bad bishop. I mean, it does have a good future on c6 if he allows it.
I mean, c6, he's just probably going to take.
Yeah, so.
Is what I assumed. But he goes queen to do d2 here, which is whatever it is, I guess. And I play b5, which I guess is just time to kick the knight, forced to make a decision. And if he does this, I'm completely happy. Symmetrical pawn structure, and I have the bishop pair. I mean, in that case, I'd probably consider bishop e8. Maybe remove the knight and then drop the bishop out here, so the bishops have a future. But he goes knight to d4. And here I calculate a couple things. Here I calculated f5. If knight goes here, you lose because of this. Right? Go here, and knight g4 loses because I can just take the bishop and I'm winning a piece. If I go here, I calculated knight g3. I calculate f5 and the bishop's trapped. And you'll see what I've failed to think about. So I play f5. He thinks for a bit, finds the only move in the position, which I think is knight c3. And then without thinking, I play pawn to f4, which looks like it traps the bishop, except he can just take, which is probably inexcusable to blunder. But and then you're just down a pawn.
Yeah, I think it's important. Like if the knight didn't take on e7 with check after taking on d5, then it would have worked, right? Because it would have worked. But the fact that after f4 and knight takes d5, if you want to put on the board, like then if you took on e3, then knight takes e7 check. So that's the really important move that is kind of easy to miss. That in between move, like you play an in between move, then he plays an in between move, like so.
Yeah. And I think it becomes even more of an issue because if I realized this entire idea didn't work, I would have never played f5 in the first place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would have played something a lot more reserved.
You could even take the bishop if you really wanted to.
In this position?
Oh, I mean, like instead of playing f5, I mean.
I would have taken the bishop actually because there's no open f5 that really benefits anyone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here we're down to pawn. I think earlier I probably would have just tried to sack all my pieces and checkmate because I'm down to pawn. But pretty symmetrical position. I have the bishop pair. I'm probably giving that up pretty soon because I don't really have somewhere to keep it. So this position, I thought about this move, but I thought I'd just get hit by g4, and g4 is actually probably a pretty.
Actually, I think that move, knight c3, might be winning. Bishop f5 and knight c6. Sorry, bishop f5 and knight c6 looks. I don't know how you stop yourself from losing the bishop.
This. Yeah.
Oh wait, it blunders a whole knight.
It doesn't blunder the knight because no. Whoa.
It's
well, that's the first piece losing turn analysis.
It's late. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a full day of chess.
You're the 2000. Anyway, so I go bishop f6, just trying to let's not panic. It's a pretty boring position, and he still has to find a way to win this. And this pawn of advantage is not really felt yet, so I guess we can play chess. He takes, I'm assuming he just wants to liquidate the position as fast as possible. So queen takes, force, he plays c3, it's time for taking the b2 pawn. I was looking at ideas of maybe pushing something and takes, and I would take this here so I'd have discovery to win my pawn back. But eventually I just kind of worked out that none of them work. And I thought I would force something here, so I play d4, which I didn't find a better alternative in this position. Yeah, he goes bishop e5, which I didn't calculate. So in this position, I calculated push, not push here, which is probably maybe even better for me with the passer. Um, calculated takes, and I'd play bishop takes. And I thought I was doing okay because this is kind of hit, but then bishop probably just drops back to e3. And then I have to deal with some stuff there. It's kind of weird calculating in these positions because there's just like so many options.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's not many forcing
Yeah.
moves. Not as many forcing moves to
Yeah.
calculate. I mean, if he does take, I mean, he just has an isolated an isolated pawn.
Yeah,
That could be a
so
weakness too.
I was trying to force him into an isolated queen spot position, which I feel like is my best shot here. But in this position, he goes bishop e5, which I completely just missed, which I probably shouldn't miss because it's just like very obviously the best move in the position. At once you see it on the board. Didn't really know what to do here. I thought about this. I'm like, I can't really take because then the rook comes in. Even if I go here, rook just stacks here, and I can't really offer more trades. I mean, maybe I could try to hold this queen endgame, but I really don't want to because that just seems miserable. And if I take here, bishop takes is interesting. Queen takes is an option. Pawn takes is an option. I think queen takes is weak because it leaves you with this weak isolated pawn. Then I have something to play against. Pawn takes is what I thought was best, and then bishop takes seems kind of weird because it's just this. But then he would just take here, and he has probably ways to do stuff. But I end up spending about 15 minutes in this position, and I come to terms that dc3 is probably the best option, and I assumed he was going to play pawn takes, which he did. So here, again, not much stuff to do. Obviously, I'm assuming these are probably the best moves, just to get my rook somewhere. But then I was kind of just trying to limit trades as much as possible until I saw a way to either take over or at least get back to somehow this would be equal. So I decided just to centralize the queen. Queen really can't get hit by this because I just taken it to free pawn because the pin. This bishop now needs to make a decision. I mean, I guess f4 is also possible, but like, there's probably no reason to do that. Probably not a bad move, actually.
Looks like as fine as any other move.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, he gets kind of trade happy in this position and just takes my bishop, which seemed kind of... I mean, it's okay because he's up a pawn, but I feel like there's a lot more ambitious ways to continue. Because even though I'm down a pawn, it doesn't feel like I'm losing the game yet.
Yeah, I mean, heavy piece endgames are always tough.
Yeah. And
Tough
this
to
is
convert.
kind of what I wanted, because I knew eventually my endgame technique would probably be better than his, but at the end of the day, I'm not really playing for a win anywhere here. So, rook takes, I'm assuming, is the only move. Maybe pawn takes, I doubt it. But
Nah, pawn takes for chumps.
pawn takes would be like, if I get to rook in game, split pawns, my whole three. I don't even know. He goes d4 here, which I thought was an awful move, because I thought that just draws the game like on the spot for me. Like, I mean, you have to take here. Because if you push, now you're just like, that's coming, and no matter what you do, and I think it's still coming. d4.
Oh, and just a note on that: if you don't take, if you play rook d8 or something like that, then maybe rook d. No. Rook d5 does not work. Never mind.
Rook e5 work?
Rook e5. Oh, just because you can take on e5. Yeah, e5, and then would not work because the pawn's pinned. So, never mind. So you could play rook d8 instead. You know what I mean?
Here?
Yeah, like you could play rook d8 because rook e5, if you want to put it on the board, doesn't work.
This move?
No, that's e4.
e5. Oh, bro.
Good. Yeah, because it doesn't work. Oh, it does work. Oh, but it's just trades. Okay, and you win the pawn back. That's the fanciest trade I've ever seen.
How do you really defend this?
Rook c not very well. So you're actually doing better here, probably. Maybe a4 must be played or something.
Yeah, in all honesty, I wasn't thinking about that. I just was trying to find a drawing method, which I guess makes sense, but if I even bothered to calculate that entire thing, I would have. I just saw that I can't really lose this position anymore.
Oh, that's true.
If he goes pawn takes, he has chances, but I feel like this isolated pawn is very easy to gang up against, and he's not really making progress without abandoning this pawn eventually. And I can always sack this majority to distract something and then win this. and then this 3-on-2 is always drawn in a rook game, maybe a queen game also. At least that's the way I see it. So he plays queen takes, which is basically, I think he just kind of gives up his winning chances.
Oh, not much to do at this point.
So I saw this and I was like, I mean, obviously you want to make sure you're drawing at this point, which I spent some time calculating all the variations out. And I think I always have, boom, distract one of the rooks and then win this pawn. And then we just draw this 3-on-2. So queen takes, c takes, rook d6. Probably could have played rook d8 also, didn't see a difference. He plays rook a d1. Here and he goes rook e5. Rook e4. I continue with my plan with a5. He goes f3, probably just to walk his king in. Continue with b5. He goes king f2, a4, rook to, yeah, rook d3. I vaguely looked at this here because maybe I'm somehow winning with like rook b8, boom, boom, boom. But I always saw that he has this, and the idea of going here doesn't work because he just drops his other rook back. And then these pawns are falling, and I never pick up this isolated pawn, which I would assume this rook in game versus these two is losing. I mean, it has to be. So I decided to just go with my original plan: b3, ab3, ab3, rook b3, rook d4, rook d4, rook d4. And here we can probably get to draw. I mean, I'm down a pawn, so I'm not really going to offer the draw, which I probably could have. But, I mean, this endgame is just probably impossible to win unless you massively screw up. So, continues with g4, king f7, king g3, g5, rook b2. I just play h6. My thing was, if he played h4, I'm not sure if I want to take. Because then it might be a little bit more difficult to defend. But I still think it's completely drawn. Because this pawn can never really advance because I just take. And then the 1-on-0 is always drawn because my king's in position. So after h6, he goes rook f2, which I think the only thing that does is prepare this move. Because if pawn takes, he takes with check. And then chances are his king and pawn is just probably just losing for me. So king g6, plays f4, gf4, rook f4, rook d3 check, rook f3, drop my rook back, and I'm assuming we're probably going to make a repetition soon. He continues with h4 in this position, and I can play h5 probably and get away with it, but then it's just like, why make things harder for yourself if you don't have to? Slide my rook over to b4. He plays here. I could go up, paying mate in 1, decided against it. Drop my king back to g7. He offers a rook trade. Rook trade is losing in this position because of stuff. You probably just get outflanked somehow. Actually, probably just that. Check. King goes up.
Actually, I think controversial take. I think that might be a draw because you do have opposition.
I trust you, but why make things harder than it has to be?
I mean, yeah, whatever. It's all the same.
Yeah, it's like, I guess if it was I guess if I calculate it.
Yeah, just maintain opposition.
Is there a triangulation here?
Yeah. Oh, whoa, wait, no, outflank though.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the work, yeah. Oh, wait, does it work? Wait, instead of king up? Wait, go back. H6? Wait, after takes an H6? Wait, wait, no, we're in time, Okay, phew. Okay. I thought that was blunder. Okay, anyway.
I guess if you're gonna turn to king pawn, I always argue that you have to calculate it.
Yes. That's a good point.
A point where you know you're 100% winning.
That is a very good point.
And there's so many things you have to calculate that it's probably just easier to keep the rooks on.
That's true.
So I go rook b1. He goes rook f3. I just drop my rook to b5. Don't even bother checking. And he thinks about this for about 10 minutes, offers me a draw, and I just happily accept.
Nice. Good game.
So, I mean, takeaways from this game, I guess.
Keep fighting, bro. Yeah, and
Yeah,
keep and work and heavy piece endgames are hard to
yeah,
convert.
I'm happy that I didn't just throw the game after playing F4, but at the end of the day, like that's just inexcusable to blunder that, especially like I don't know. I feel like I should never blunder. That's like
You had more than enough time, right?
yeah, that's inexcusable. There was no time spent on the move F4, and it just gives away a pawn. Like, and I mean the reality of it is, in my opinion, like if I was playing someone actually near my skill level, I would have been punished for that immediately, and I would have lost this game most likely because of that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, Mr. Coachman.
Uh, good job trading the right pieces at the right time. Heavy piece endgames. Good way to try to go for a draw.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Let's get the game review.